This is the Artiphon Instrument 1, a very unique MIDI controller. So in this video, I'm going to take my first look at this very interesting instrument. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete, and this is Studio Live Today, where I help you create, record, and release your best music. But today, I'm going to show something a little bit different because I was lucky enough to recently get this as a 40th birthday present. There you go. I've just given away my age. This is the Artiphon Instrument 1, which is perhaps the coolest MIDI controller that I have ever owned. Okay, let's be honest. It is the coolest MIDI controller I've ever owned. It is, yes, a guitar-style controller, but it is so much more. I've only been playing with this for a couple of days, but I had to jump on and give you a little demonstration of what this is and what it can do. So let's jump in now. So as you would have seen in the intro there, unlike our standard MIDI controllers there, this uses a guitar fretboard instead of an actual keyboard. So the key difference here is that when we play this, we're going to be strumming. So we strum this section down here and we actually can play these frets and we can move up and down the fretboard, and it works just like a guitar. It's actually a great deal of fun to play, but it does a whole lot more than this, and there's an app here on iOS, which is why it's relevant here, because I want to take a look at the app, and then, of course, I want to do something which you are probably predicting I'm going to do, which is to hook this up to GarageBand and see what we can do with this in GarageBand. So let's do that now. Alright, so I've moved things around so you're going to get the best possible view of the Artiphon Instrument 1 here. So there it is in all its glory. We've got a volume control down this side here. We've got our 6 strings there. I'm still getting used to how you stop them. Like that. And then we've got our fretboard up and down here. So we've got 12 frets there and 6 different strings. It has stereo speakers, and I'm actually plugged in to the headphone jack here. That's coming through my mixer so that you can hear the sound. And the USB, it's a mini USB to lightning cable, which is running over to my iPad, which you can see. You can't see on the screen here, but I'll pop that up now. That is running the Artiphon Instrument 1 software. So I'm not going to dive into that in a lot of detail today because I'm still learning it, but I'm just going to show you a quick demo of what this can do because it is so much more than just a guitar controller. Now we can either use the software that we have over here to change our instruments. We've got a whole bunch of different settings that we can go through, and I'm still working through these at the moment as to how they all work, but we can also change it by tapping on this button here. So it will go from guitar and then it goes through our different modes. So guitar is the mode we just showed. So we can just strum and play guitar there, and it's got hammer on, hammer off. You can slide up, you can change fretted and fretless. There's a heap of options in here. But again, this is a quick overview video. We won't show everything here. I'll be learning it, and I'm sure you'll see it again in a future one. If we tap on this button here, we are now in violin or strings mode. So we can now bow. I'm just going to turn the volume up. This is our volume knob, by the way. So just by applying pressure here, we can actually use a bowing motion. We have a keyboard, so we can use this to play keyboard sounds. And we have 6 down the side here and 12 tones along here. And we can adjust whether these are tones, semitones, or however we like. But at the moment, it's in a major scale, which means it's just easy to play chords we don't have to worry about because obviously there's no black notes. In fact, they're all black notes. So we can actually change here the pitch. So we can use this as like a capo on our guitars or on our piano so that we can turn that up and down. You can change this to be like whole octaves if you want to use that as an octave changer as well, which is all very cool. Now, the next option here we have is potentially my favorite because you know I love some drums, and yeah, I haven't worked out which one's which. There's my crash. There we go. We can play drums on here as well. So because these are all touch sensitive areas and we've got these grids, we've got the strings, we can use this as a pad layout, we can use this as a string layout or a key layout. It's actually pretty cool. And then the last 4 here are my 4 user presets that we can flick through. And you can see as I switch over to the screen, as I click these, it's actually touching on the screen there. So I can use the screen. If I tap the screen here, that's going to trigger these over here without me tapping on them. So it's all integrated. You can use it. There's a a Mac and a PC app as well, but because I love my mobile recording, this is going to be what goes with me on the road, because especially the guitar version, being able to play real guitar chords is going to be super cool, because yeah, there's nothing else quite like this. Unless I take a real guitar with me, I can't play guitar chords. And yes, it's not going to get the exact sound. We're not talking about exact sound of a real guitar or my real Taylor acoustic, but I'm going to be able to combine, I'm going to be able to try out different chord combinations using this and just see what they sound like together, and then lay down bass lines using like a real fret system, which again, I do better bass lines when I've got frets than when I've got keys. Now, let's cut to the chase on this one. Is this for everyone? No, like clearly not. You're not going to go, if you're buying your first MIDI controller, you won't be buying the Instrument 1. And to be very honest, if I was paying with my own money, I would have to think twice, because this thing is $399 US. Again, I'm a very lucky person, and my wife spoiled me for my 40th birthday. But you know what? If you can't have something cool and a little bit splashing out there for your 40th birthday, when can you, right? So that is what I've got here, the Instrument 1 by Artiphon. What do you think? Is this something that you would pick up? Now, I know there's similar sorts of options. There's things like the Jamstick, which is another guitar type interface. There's other sort of pad and key combination interfaces. So the proof will be in the coming weeks, where I will be starting to use this and seeing how it goes. But there's one more thing that we want to do before we finish up, and that is give this a run in GarageBand, because I know you want to see how it works as a MIDI controller in GarageBand. So let's do that now. Now, I have legitimately not tried this yet, so this is actually the first time I'm going to test this out. So let's come in here to GarageBand. I've got a new track here. We're going to go to my keyboard, and we're going to tap the keyboard instrument here. So we should have my grand piano there. What happens if we tap here? Yeah, so we've... Okay, so yeah, we've got... So because it's in guitar mode here, it's using the strings, which is very unique, because it means that we can play this. That's actually pretty cool, because I'm going to be able to play piano chords using the guitar chords that I know. So if you're a guitar player and you're not a piano player, this could be a good option. But what we can do is, if we switch it over to piano mode now, now it's using those tones. So because it's talking back to the app, but it's programmed into here, it's sending the whole tone. So instead of it being, it's actually going up by whole tones there, which is pretty cool. And again, we could probably use the other modes. Let's go to the violin mode here. Yeah, so that's pretty clunky to use. But what if we use this mode, the string mode with strings? Again, this is all very, very testing the waters here. Let's go to strings and... Oh yeah, I can totally see myself actually legitimately laying down the string parts using this, because as opposed to having to do it on here and doing your... just being able to... and using different amounts of pressure on this end to actually change that up, that's pretty darn cool. So liking the string sound. We have to try drums before we go, don't we? So let's come over to the drums. Now I guess the only thing here is that as we change the instruments here on the iPad, we then have to change the way it's being played, because this doesn't talk to GarageBand. This talks to its own app that's running in the background. So we need to then switch this over to drum mode, and... yep. Very cool. So we can load up our drums, we can play it here. What if we go with like something, oh, gone all the way out there. What if we go with something electronic? This could be cool. Because I think this will be good for the sort of music that I do, but I think I want to do a bit more electronic type music with this as well. So what if we go to an 808? Yep, we can totally dial in and play with our electronic kits as well. So that is it, the Artiphon Instrument 1. Is it going to be part of my mobile creation rig? You better believe it. Definitely for a while I get used to it and while I start using it, because I think for songwriting, for electronic music production, for just getting ideas down, again, if you're a guitarist like me, your fingers just go into chord shapes. So to be able to play all my instruments using guitar chord shapes is going to be pretty revolutionary. And yeah, I think I'm going to get some cool sounds. I know how to play a G7 on a guitar a lot better than I do on a piano, so it might actually make my arrangements sound even better. But there you go, the Artiphon Instrument 1. There you go, the Artiphon Instrument 1 is a very unique and very cool instrument. If you'd like to learn more about it, there's a link down in the description to where you can check it out on Amazon. There's also 2 more videos to check out down below. You can subscribe by clicking or tapping on the icon, and I hope to see you on the next video.